And back in the 70s, there was no advertising allowed. So the SEC said, really, and let me do the same analogy. Everyone in that picture, standing that monument sign, along with the sponsors, knows they did that deal, right?
Yeah.
So why would they be posting that? They'd be posting that to find new people who might call Vinney and say, hey, Vinney, that sounds pretty good. The next time you have a deal, will you call me? That's totally wrong. Now, there's a lot of people out there doing things that never get caught, and you see your friends doing it. You say, well, they're going to do it, so I'm going to do it. Fine. I'm just telling you that there's some verification from the SEC that says that's incorrect. Okay, so that's good. Now, the other thing that you and I see right now that you've already alluded to, Vinney, is whether I could raise money for your offerings. Let's just paint that picture. You're doing a 506B.
Yep.
And you're going to, first of all, only be able to take investors who have a pre-existing relationship with you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I come to you and say, Vinney, I'd like to raise some money for you. I've got a great big network of investors, and we could probably raise $1 million or $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go through that one step at a time. You don't know any of my investors.
No.
You don't have a pre-existing relationship with my investors. So right there, you're kind of thinking, maybe I can't do this. Good thought. Don't do that. But I'm going to say to you, Vinney, you know what I'm going to do? I think you're right. I'm going to put together an LLC myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to raise money from all these people with whom I have a pre-existing relationship.
Yep.
And then we're going to come to you as one investor. Trowbridge Equity Group Fund 10 is going to invest $1 million. And I've got all my investors, and that's fine.
Right.
Well, you've got a couple of questions. Number one, you're doing a 506B. So you can only have 35 sophisticated investors.
Yep.
I wonder how many I have.
Because
you have to count all mine.
Yep.
So that's going to screw up your deal. Number two, how did I get my investors? I hope I didn't do any advertising.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that's going to blow your exemption. And number three, what I guess I forgot to tell you is, Vinney, if I put together this group and raise this $1 million, I want 3% of the $1 million as a fee from you for commission. And if I happen to do really well and raise $1.5 million, I want 3% of $1.5 million. Totally illegal. Couple rules. Number one, there cannot be anything called transaction-based compensation paid to a non-registered broker-dealer. So I'm not a registered broker-dealer. I'm just got a guy with a bunch of people who can raise $1 million, and I'll come to you and I'm going to ask you to pay me. Totally illegal. Devastating for me if the deal goes bad, and not too good for you. So you can't do that. No transaction-based compensation. And number two, you can't raise money unless you're in the qualify as an issuer. Now, you and I know what that means.
Yep.
The analogy is for sale by owner. I can sell my own real estate, but Vinney, I can't sell yours unless I have a license.
Right.
You can sell your own securities, but I can't sell your securities unless I have a license.
Mm-hmm.
So raising money for your securities offering, unless I do it very carefully, is not going to work because I don't qualify as an issuer. And if I'm not an issuer, I have to have a securities license, or I have to do my LLC absolutely correctly. But then if I do my LLC absolutely correctly, you can't pay me because still I don't have a securities license. And you have to be concerned, did I do it correctly? Did I not advertise? How many sophisticated investors do I have? And we probably would be working this out early on in your offering so you'd know what I was going to do. I can't come to you 4 weeks into your offering and say, hey, I'll take the last $1 million. And I want you to do this and that for me. That wouldn't work. So my legal advice to you is don't do that.
Sure.
And you haven't you seen people show you contracts that they've been presented that some sponsor has said, okay, if you do all these things, I'll pay you. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
So how about fund of a fund? Is that something?
Hi, you are listening to Syndication Made Easy podcast. We will be right back after this short break.
Hi, thank you so much. This is Vinney Chopra, and thank you for subscribing to my podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook pages and all the great things, and LinkedIn. Connect with me. I come live to you every Friday at 9:30 Pacific with Vinney and Bo Show. Please also look at that. And also the podcast, which is my Apartment Syndication Made Easy. The book I wrote a couple of years back became international top seller on Amazon International now. And then we like to bring great guests for you every week or twice a week sometime to give you a lot of great knowledge. So please subscribe. You give us 5-star reviews on the iTunes. The better the guests we can bring, and our ranking will go higher also. Thanks again for following us and really getting the most out of it. Please comment, like, share, because we would love to bring better and better material for you. So how about fund of a fund? Is that something which is that okay?
Yeah. My $1 million offering, my $1 million LLC is a fund to fund. And I write fund to fund documents for people who do. My best one is a client who goes out and finds the syndicators where the initial investment is $1 million. The minimum investment is $1 million.
Right.
My syndicator doesn't have anyone with $1 million.
Yeah.
They have a lot of people with 250,000. So they raise 5 million. Everyone's accredited, and then they go out and place $1 million in 5 different sponsors. They have a long-term relationship with these sponsors, and everything is done right. So you can do that. They don't get paid.
Yeah.
They don't need to be an issuer because their investment group is investing as an investor, and the pre-existing relationship is between them.
Yeah.
And they don't ask for anything. They just say, to their investors, well, I can get you in this $1 million deal, which you can't get in yourself. So when we get paid by them, I'm going to take 20% for me or whatever it is. Fine. So yes, you can do that, but
that's how it should be done then, right? Like the main sponsor you're saying is giving more to the
main sponsor is giving to this investor exactly what every other $1 million investor does.
I see. But
if I were bringing that $1 million in, I would say to my investors, when we get the distribution, Vinney, I'm going to split that 80-20 with you.
I see. Gotcha.
I'm getting paid for bringing you the opportunity of investing with Vinney, which you can't because Vinney wants $1 million as a minimum investment.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You can do that.
Yeah. Excellent. Any other concept that you would like to share with the audience? This has been tremendous spending time with you, Gene. Again, the main thing is we want to stay true to, this syndication world has really rocked my world, as you know, for the last 15 years. Apartment Syndication Made Easy, guys. If you want a free copy of that, just go to apartmentsyndicationmadeeasy.com. Wow, how easy it is. So just go ahead and get a free copy, and love to also have you, get the Positivity Brings Profitability book. That's my second book, which is also getting raving reviews. My third one on senior living investing made easy is coming. Gene, so we are all becoming seniors, brother. So
I sure am. That's for damn sure. And I think if the people who are listening would go to my website,
please, yes,
trowbridgelawgroup.com, there's a QR code on there that if they scan that QR code, they will get a free PDF of my book.
Of your book.
If that's not good enough for them, they can always buy one or the Audible, but they can get a free PDF just by going to my website, just for your listeners. Okay.
Thank you, Gene. Right there in the background, that's Trowbridge, my very good friend, Gene Trowbridge Law Group. Please do go over there, trowbridgegroup.com, and get that book. That's excellent.
Right. And don't forget about my YouTube channel, which when I interviewed you, your interview is on my Trowbridge Law. We interviewed a lot of syndicators, and Jonathan, my partner, and I place a lot of educational information in there about syndication. We're not going to teach you about product types, but we're going to teach you about raising money and syndication, and be great if you visited us. Vinney, can I say thank you very much for having me again?
Oh my gosh. No, it's such a pleasure, Eugene. When your, assistant reached out to me, I said, love to have Gene, because you always bring great knowledge to our audiences. And really thank you, Gene, for doing that. And like you said, no retirement. Me too. I'm going to be
not retiring.
Not retiring. Right. I mean, what are you going to do if you have, nothing to really stimulate your mind? I say that. So let's really crush it, guys. And again, come and, reach out to Mr. Trowbridge's channel on the YouTube, my channel. And there are great information there, and also books, that Mr. Trowbridge has written, I have written. But the key thing is you got to move the needle. The market is changing, and now millionaires will be made. That's when I started 2008, not knowing the market was down or up or anything. I didn't know anything about from cash on cash or LOI or nothing. But the key thing is, if you stick with it, you will be winners in this downturn coming. Right, Gene? You want to say the last?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And you said a lot of it. You got to educate yourself. I educate myself all the time.
Sure.
On things that are changing, and that would be good advice for everyone who's listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gene. You take care. Have a great one, brother. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.